me. Why? I'm pregnant again. Why?
You was sleep with somebody else,
Yes,
man,
you
then
do.
you got low
You, I know
self-esteem.
you're not talking.
Ladies,
I know you was
you guys want to hear the case?
Let's get some order. Let's get some order.
What you do? I come across a landlord,
Okay.
and I tell him I have no money that
So
was
ask her
crooked,
about
and
the
I can't
furniture.
even move in the
Ask her about
house.
the-
Well, since you don't have anything right now, and I see you with your 3 children in a U-Haul truck, you can move in without giving me anything. And when you get the deposit back from the previous landlord,
Mr. Barlow has 8 children and they all look like him. The potential 9th in court today does not. Because of this, he's accusing Ms. Winslow of infidelity. Ms. Winslow claims that this baby is not hers. Yeah, you heard right. She argues that the baby was switched at birth.
Because I got a long past of infidelity. I got a long history of infidelity.
a very
And
long
so-
history.
And so I left. When I went away, she said pay back some
Okay,
straight legs.
let's use
Your
the
Honor,
appropriate
first of
language.
Exactly
all,
what she
I
said.
never stated that, Your Honor.
So
he comes
now
up with
I go away.
I've never stated
and
that.
while I'm away, I'm calling and stuff.
Oops, the landlord. Well, that is something. Now, what proof do you have, Mr. Barlow? Also, if she was actually cheating with the landlord by 10 p.m., don't you think she would not be telling you he's with her and currently around the house?
I'm calling at 10 p.m. and he there.
You call at 10 and he's there.
Yeah, he there.
The landlord's
He there.
at the house at 10 p.m.
Yeah,
And you
putting
know why,
together
Your
bids and
Honor?
stuff.
You know why,
Putting
Your
together
Honor?
bids.
You know why, Your
Putting
Honor?
together the beds.
Yeah.
You know why,
I'm
Your
like,
Honor?
how he got
Because he doesn't have contractors. He does things
So what his
in a
so-called girlfriend
three-story
thinks about
building
this?
himself.
Okay, do you hear that, Mr. Barlow? Looks like you're already getting on Ms. Winslow's nerves as it is. He left her to fend for 3 kids, so if there's a leaky roof or broken bed in the house by whatever time, she's going to get the landlord to fix it for sure.
He says
Refrigerator.
to me is, okay, well, since you don't have anything right now, and I see you with your 3 children in a U-Haul truck, you can move in without giving me anything. And when you get the deposit back from the previous landlord, then you can start paying me.
So, Mr. Barlow, your point was he may have been interested in her or something because instead of the $2,500 that was.
Who gonna take 300?
Oh, Mr. Barlow, Miss Winslow has already been through so much with the swindler. What if the landlord is just a genuinely nice person? Besides, he didn't say she'll never have to pay in full. She would pay it when she eventually gets her money back. But hold up though, buying furniture?
Out of 25, I'm a businessman now. But yet, you didn't just give me the other 2,200, but I'm buying you furniture. I'm
He
buying your
didn't
son
buy
a
any
bed,
furniture.
and
He
I'm giving you a
didn't buy
refrigerator.
What furniture did he buy?
You understand?
What he's
man?
talking
What furniture
about
did he
is
buy?
I didn't have
A
a
living
bed.
room
Winslow,
set.
just a second.
A living room set, a kitchen set.
What a guy, what a dedicated landlord, I mean. Doing all of that, phew. Those phone calls too, Mr. Barlow, those are a lot of phone calls. Over 80 phone calls. Isn't that something? Let us find out more.
He calls to try to see if he can hear noise in the background. I'm at home with 3 boys. I don't
Who
have time for him
cares?
to hear the. Let me
If
hear
I'm
who's
paying
in the
for the phone
background.
call,
Be
why hang
quiet.
up
Let
on
me
me
see
for
what's
somebody
going
you're not
on.
dealing with?
That's his own insecurities because of his past and all the cheating he has done on me.
Whoa, that's something real right there, though. Mr. Barlow does have a history of cheating. All these accusations he's throwing around court that does not seem to make too much sense could stem from that. What is the reason why you're making a phone call to one person over 80 times? Why are you having trust issues like that? It's starting to make sense.
He doesn't look like me or Mr. Barlow. So now that leads me to believe the only way that this baby is not this man's child is if he's not mine. I believe something happened at the hospital and it would devastate me, Your Honor. I have a strong connection with my son.
Looks like we've moved on to the next stop and landed ourselves in maternity court. What does she mean? She's doubtful. The baby is her son, thinking he was switched at birth and everything. Is this Mr. Barlow's fault? If he wasn't denying paternity in the first place, Ms. Winslow would not be denying the cute little boy.
You're saying that you question whether or not you're this child's mother.
Yes.
And this is really upsetting you. You're serious.
Yes, I'm serious because every day when I go somewhere, whether it's the grocery store, wherever we go, the doctor, we went to a place for my kids to don't.
Ooh, that was a close one. If Ms. Winslow is not baby Jibral's mother, then what are any of us even doing here? That would definitely mean that Mr. Barlow is not the father as well. This is about to get even juicer.
That's
You
something
understand what
that
I'm
I
saying?
strongly believe. Do you think I would play with
So-
something like that, Your Honor? That's something serious. That's hurtful. I have been living with this, as I stated, since he was born. I have cried
Man,
to my mother about
Soon
this.
as my son was
So
born,
why
the
would I
landlord
make
came to
up
the house
something
to
like
see
that?
the baby.
Whoa, 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 Mr. Barlow, that is a gravely insensitive thing to say. After having children with this woman and 8 children in total with various women, how do you not understand the weight of questioning if your child is your biological baby?
That's correct. And I have never cheated on this man. I've been with this man for 11 years, off and on. Throughout the whole time I've been with him, he have not only had twins on me, but triplets as well. So it's not like it's just like a little simple thing like he hasn't done anything to me. He has done the most.
Whoops, now he's gotten her off her rockers. At this point, with Mr. Barlow in this courtroom, there's nothing else to do except wait and listen to the result. He's not about to listen to anything else unless it comes out of that envelope.
Mr. Barlow, you are the father.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
The bottom line is you are the mother and you are the father. And ultimately, you two have got to get past all of this.
Mr. Butler's wife claims that her husband's baby mama is lying and it is not her man's daughter. Here we go again. Mr. Butler claims that Ms. Moore is lying about paternity simply because she wants him back.
Ms. Moore, has Mr. Butler been involved in your child's life in any way?
If you're talking about diapers and wipes, that's it. That's not a father to me at all, period.
Let's talk about why we're here. Mr. Butler, you obviously have doubts.
Yes, Your Honor.
What are those doubts?
She told me I'm not the baby daddy.
Oh boy, this does not seem like someone who wants you back, Mr. Butler. Are you so sure about that? Harassment too? Here we go again with the protective wives and the husbands with nothing to say for themselves.
Your Honor, on numerous times.
One time.
Numerous times.
One time.
That's a lie.
Harassment.
Really, harassment?
Harassment.
I ain't never
You
harassed
and your
you a day.
so-called husband.
Whatever. I was getting my hair done at one particular time when she was on the phone. He had her on speaker, and she told him, "You're not the dad. You don't have to do nothing for this baby."
Whoops. Again, Mr. Butler, I ask, are you sure this woman wants you back or even wants anything to do with you? It does seem like someone else is filling the shoes you left empty already.
I was 7.5 weeks, December 11th.
Okay, but you would not have had your baby.
Did I have sex with you?
No, you didn't.
You're not a man.
You had sex with him,
and you
but
know
I've been
damn well
messing
that's
with
your
him for
baby,
almost
period,
2
point
years.
blank.
Ladies.
Do you believe it? You married it. You tell me.
Well, okay then. Ms. Butler is really getting on Ms. Moore's nerves. Now, why is it always the women that come to court with a knife against each other's neck? Mr. Butler is standing there like a cat's got his tongue with nothing to say for himself. Ms. Butler is the one defending her cheating husband.
Explain to me, why is she wrong?
Because when I got pregnant, I had left. Quincy was doing so much cheating. I found his last 2 babies and my baby and his last baby is 2 weeks apart.
Oh no, she didn't. Ms. Moore just shoved it in Ms. Butler's face that her husband is a good-for-nothing cheater. While he was cheating, having babies outside his marriage, he was cheating on Ms. Moore as well. This man should have awards to his name for cheating.
He is a leech, and his so-called wife told me that over the phone. It's always, if I call Quincy, it's always her.
Because
and I
I'm
feel
his
like
wife and
I
it's
don't
one,
care.
one, one,
But
one.
that doesn't make sense though. I'm his baby mother, and I have to talk to him.
Oh, what a man. He's everything everyone ever wanted, isn't he? I myself want him too. What a good-for-nothing man. With all of his cheating and the babies he keeps having, he's on supplemental security income. Dang, what a hot cake.
I called him and I said, you know, my daughter is pregnant. And he goes, what do you mean? I said, she's pregnant. And he says, well, I'm gonna be there for her. All of a sudden,
No, Your Honor.
there is no Quincy in sight no more.
Mr. Butler, do you remember having this conversation with
No, I
Miss?
didn't. No,
You
I
never did.
No.
Okay, Mr. Talk and No Do. I'm not so sure Mr. Butler realizes the meaning of being there for a pregnant woman. Talk less of being there as a father when the baby eventually comes. Aside from one doctor's appointment, the baby wipes and diapers. This man came with absolutely nothing. I mean, he didn't even come.
On the 26th, my blood pressure went sky high. When my blood pressure went sky high, my doctor came in and told me that my baby's heart rate was going down. So as it was going down, she was getting less oxygen. So they had to get her out. And when they got her out, I did not see my baby. I went to an emergency C-section.
What an ordeal. Ms. Moore really went through so much during labor alone. One can only imagine how that must have been. Doing it all by yourself and knowing that afterwards, there's no father to share this responsibility with.
Is it true that you decided you'd maybe go and stay at Ms. Moore's house with Zamar? Were you gonna go over there?
Tell the truth. Your own dog?
Yeah.
So you did, and you thought, and was it because you felt like this was your daughter?
Yes, I did.
You did, okay.
Oh my goodness, Mr. Butler is capable of so much more than grunts and that creepy smile. He can speak. Isn't that something? To wrap all of the tiring shenanigans up, we get to the results. Let us find out.
Mr. Butler,
Yes, ma'am.
you are her father. Now, look at her.
Thank you. You completed everything today.
You're very welcome, sir.
You feel better?
Yes, I do.
Do you?
Yeah.
Now you can start being a dad.
When she was born on down, this is yours.
Mr. Harrison is suing Ms. Grant for paternity fraud. He claims that he's not the biological father of their daughter and she manipulated him to think that he is. That is a really heavy accusation, but let's see how it begins.
So, Mr. Harrison, explain, why are you suing for fraud?
Well, Your Honor, I signed my acknowledgement for paternity for my daughter, and I've done everything for her since the day she's been born. I've had several people come to me through Facebook and through text messaging on my phone saying that, Aaliyah's not your daughter. I don't care what.
Okay, 1 point to Miss Grant. She does have a point there, Mr. Harrison. That's what happens when you make babies with another person. You share the genes, you see. The baby cannot completely look like you. Okay, Mr. Harrison?
She got upset and she said, I just don't want to do this anymore. I just don't want to do it anymore.
I didn't want to have to keep lying to him, Your Honor. I got tired of, being dishonest and being disrespectful in my relationship. And I gave him every option to, decide what he wanted to do. And so I decided that instead of letting somebody else blackmail me like my so-called friend had done.
How about honesty?
Ding, ding, ding. 1 point for Mr. Harrison. Ms. Grant has been cheating for how long now? The entire span of their relationship. That's wild. She eventually told him simply because she was tired of leading him on and being frustrated about it. What a woman. And
How about honesty 7 years ago? How about, honesty at the very beginning?
Well, and I want to understand what happened that day. So out of the blue, help me move the washer turns into, I just don't want to do this.
It turns into him getting frustrated
bit
and
upset.
fussing and cursing. And I said, you know what? I can't do this anymore with you.
And so, Ms. Grant, who is this person? What?
it's understandable. It's wild how there is so much frustration in the relationship already that a small task like that would set not one, but both of them off. Bringing in the washer really led to the end of their relationship.
This person was a friend of mine. I had met this person when I was 18 years old. I was a single parent of a 2-year-old daughter at the time. He helped me with her. He helped me financially. He has bought cars. He has paid rent. He has paid bills, okay? When I met Mr. Harrison and I told my friend, I'm in love and we're gonna have a baby.
Okay, Miss Grant, what a friend this person must be. Cars and whatnot, huh? It's a great thing that this person came into her life and filled up the shoes that other men could not. However, it's still so not cool that she kept this information from her husband for years.
Was this strictly platonic or was this a sexual relationship?
At times it was sexual, but for the most part, it was platonic while I was with Mr. Harrison.
But this whole
And
time,
how
she
did
would sit there and go run off.
How did you
and
manage
argue.
to do this for 15 years, but 8 years while you were with Mr. Harrison? How did you pull this off?
Lies.
Unbelievable. She admitted that it was not just a simple platonic friendship. Isn't that something? So all those 15 years, she was basically in 2 relationships, sometimes at the same time. Looks like she's ready to fully own up to the part that she lied about and what she didn't. That response was crazy.
I tried, and it wasn't. I love her, and I love my kids so much, that I was willing to bend over backwards and forgive her for all of her misdeeds, all of them.
What about all your misdeeds?
Every single
Don't sit
one
there
of
and
them.
act like you haven't cheated
I'm
on
not-
me.
I'm not saying
He
that.
cheated on me with someone who is, he's an indie pro wrestler. He cheated on me with someone who they call ring rats.
Whoa, so he cheated too. This is just getting interesting. Ring rat, huh? 1 more point for Ms. Grant, it would seem. It is starting to seem like these two came to court to unburden their marital problems from the very beginning to Judge Lake.
She lied the entire time and set you up for this. That's what paternity fraud is.
Yeah.
I did lie. I admit to lying about being
So how am I to know?
with
How am I
somebody
to
else
know?
here and there.
How am I to
So
know?
do you also admit, Ms. Grant, to basically defrauding him, basically saying this is your child when you knew for certain that it was not his child? Did you do that?
No, ma'am. I knew 100%.
Well, okay then, so that's what he's suing her for. Miss Grant acknowledges that she may have lied at some important parts of their relationship. One thing she does not stand for, however, is saying that she lied about the paternity of their daughter. She claims to have never done that.
I have people right now telling me that I ought to be ashamed of myself for even being here to prove to this this man who I am in love with at this very moment, even though he is accusing me of not knowing who the father of my child is, that I'd be ashamed of myself wanting to come in front of you and prove to him and the rest of the world that yes, I've done wrong.
Ms. Grant is losing it in the courtroom. She knows she lied to him in the past and she acknowledges that. But paternity fraud, oh no, she will not be having it. Seems like there is nothing else to say to Mr. Harrison. If your husband does not believe a word you say after 8 years of marriage, that means a lot.
Mr. Harrison, you are her father.
I told you.
I'm happy.
Good. Good. How do you feel, Miss Grant?
I feel vindicated, Your Honor. Absolutely. I may have lied about my affair, but I know who the father of my child is.
Are you all gonna try to work this thing out?
I hope we can.
I would like to.
I hope we can.
I forgave her for everything.
Mr. Wallace came with his girlfriend, oh yeah, to tell his wife that he is not the father of her baby. Ms. Austin, his wife, however, is here to prove to him the opposite, and she needs him to step up and act like a father.
So that he can begin to step up and be a father. Mr. Wallace, you claim you have multiple reasons to doubt when it comes to whether or not you are the biological father of this child, and hope today is your last visit to this courtroom. Let's take a look at what happened the last time you all were here.
Oh, so Mr. Wallace is a regular on paternity court. This isn't his first time here, nor his second. It's his third appearance in paternity court. And whoa, he's basically here for the same reasons with various women. What a guy.
So last time you were standing on the defendant's side with Roniel,
Yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Wallace. So now, Mr. Wallace, you back with Miss Roberts.
Yes, ma'am.
But you still going back and forth between the two women because she's pregnant now.
Imagine that. He really got engaged to someone, had a baby with her, and still manages to find time for another girlfriend. What a guy, really. Today, however, Mr. Wallace is in court today to prove that he is not the father of Ronald.
Since the last time we was here, everything started out okay, but we all knew that wasn't gonna last long. Roniel Wallace was still bouncing back from me and Kendra. I had enrolled in school, but I never did go because I had got pregnant once again with Ronel, and she got pregnant with her baby, with her son. And as you can see now, once again, I'm pregnant again.
Whoa! Now, here's a little plot twist to get the court case going. Miss Austin tells the court that she's here to test the paternity of Ronald, but then she's currently pregnant with her third child for Mr. Wallace. Now, this man has been going back and forth with two women. His current girlfriend is also pregnant right now. How does that even work?
First of all, I don't know if it's because you're nervous, Miss Austin, which, look, I wouldn't blame you if you were, but it's not funny. I keep seeing a smirk on your face. You know
it's
when
sad.
you're disgusted with yourself that you're back here.
Yeah, for the same reason.
I can see behind your eyes the hurt. And the baby could potentially be yours?
Yes.
Oh, Mr. Wallace. Now, the wild part of all this is the fact that they're even here. If Mr. Wallace is obviously going back and forth between these two women, why does he have any doubt that baby Ronald is his? It's absolutely mind-numbing.
Because she's very promiscuous. When we was together, I had installed, it was like spyware on her phone. It's what they would duplicate her text messages and call log and send a copy to my email. And again, for about the 5th, 6th time, I called her texting different men.
All right, 007, he installed spyware into his fiance's phone and caught her texting people? Well, I admit I thought that's what cell phones are for, Mr. Wallace. When did he have all the time to do all of this even? Wiley had another girlfriend, was sleeping with her and fathering her children.
Miss Austin, were you sleeping with these men?
No, lie detector me, please, right now.
How is you can't just be involved with all these different men without doing
Who, I'm not you, just because you lay down with everybody who you talk to, because that's what you do.
You and the Lord know you a slut. And
No,
that's like-
you're a slut. You're a slut. You're a
Mr.
slut.
Wallace,
You're a
you
slut.
remember from the
You're a
last time
slut.
you were here.
Why, Mr. Wallace? Oh, he's getting on her nerves. He's the one obviously sleeping around and making babies with other women without any effort to hide his tracks. He has no proof Miss Austin cheated on him except for texts where she didn't say anything wrong. If she did, we can be 100% sure that Mr. Wallace would not hesitate to bring it to the courtroom.
So
Why
now,
do you keep allowing me to sleep?
I'm gonna keep on just because I know that's with her. She's
So,
allowed.
I don't have nothing to do with that.
Yes,
If you
you
can
do.
sleep with somebody else,
Yes,
man,
you
then
do.
you got low
I know you're not
self-esteem.
talking.
Ladies,
I know you
you guys want to hear the case?
let's get some order. Let's get some order.
her.
Oh my goodness. Oh good Lord, all of that happened so fast. They didn't just get angry, they were furious, and then they took it out on one another. If anything, the man they are fighting over looked quite entertained by all the drama.
The mistakes that I made.
Actually, Raniel left his apartment and he moved with Kendra.
Just out of the blue, he woke up and said, I'm gonna move with Miss Roberts now?
Just go with her.
So what happened?
You were being promiscuous, and I'm not gonna tolerate that.
So basically, Mr. Wallace, you can sleep around, but your women can't.
Well, why don't you answer the question, Mr. Wallace? It's almost like this man thinks he's untouchable. He cheats so unbelievably on everybody, but if any of his unfortunate women, bless their hearts, should have so much as a conversation with the opposite sex, it's a timeout for them.
You couldn't forgive her. You all couldn't work through this. Instead, you just went to stay with Miss Roberts.
And abandoned me and my children.
That's false.
The apartment that I have now is because I moved in because of Raniel. Because of Raniel. Raniel left me to go be with Miss Robert. He don't care. It's all about him, and he doesn't care. And I'm done. Like, what more can I put into this?
That's false.
Oh, Ms. Austin, just take a look at how much stress he's putting her through. At any little thing, he leaves her apartment and runs off to stay with his mistress. One question I have for him, though, is this how he would act when they eventually get married? The plan with an engagement is to get married at some point, right?
I do everything for him. I stood by his side when he had his apartment. He went through a lot, and I was there by his side. Never left, and I could have left. I could have walked away. I had a family, I could have walked away, but I didn't. I stood by his side and urged him. He left me. He keeps leaving me.
At this point, Ms. Austin has been through about 1 million emotions in the courtroom today. She's giggled out of shame, been irritated, been furious, and now she's crying with so much pain. What a woman. To wrap this up, we get to hear what we've all been waiting for.
You feel agitated?
Yeah.
Tell me.
Because of the bull crap performance she put on. Well, I need to walk out.
Let's stay here and finish it. Come on.
Raniel, don't walk out again. You can stand up here. Do not repeat the same mistake as last time. Stand up here.
Looks like the emotions are running wild for everybody. In court today, I myself am getting emotional. Now, before we have another distraction on our hands, let's finally get the results. And trust me.
Mr. Wallace, you are Ronell's father. I want to get you all some help. I have joining me today via Skype a gentleman by the name of Mr. Wright. Now, he's a social worker in Chicago, your hometown, based right there. Thank you so much for joining us today. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Well, I have a number of social services. I have a number of resources that I want to wrap these young people in